Teniente Coronel Peraza López. ¡Descansen! ¡Armas!
And just as I continue to call on Congress to lift the trade embargo, I discussed with President Castro the steps we urge Cuba to take to show that it's ready to do more business, which includes allowing more joint ventures and allowing foreign companies to hire Cubans directly.
Dame la lista ahora mismo de los presos políticos para soltarlos. Menciónalo ahora. ¿Qué preso político? Dime el nombre o los nombres. O cuando concluya la reunión me da una lista con los presos. Y si hay esos presos políticos, antes de que llegue la noche van a estar sueltos.
The relationship between our governments will not be transformed overnight. We continue, as President Castro indicated, to have some very serious differences, including on democracy and human rights. And President Castro and I have had very frank and candid conversations on these subjects.
Oh, come on, get down.
Thank you. So the Cuban economy is beginning to change, and just look at the results. Groups like Cuba Emprende are training a new generation of entrepreneurs. Today, about 500,000 Cubans, including some of you, are proud cuentapropistas, running your own restaurants, cafes, beauty salons, barbershops, or working as artists, seamstresses, and taxi drivers. Your businesses now employ about 1/3 of the Cuban workforce. I will say this, though, that in the 21st century, in a knowledge-based economy, in a global economy, for Cuba to grow, it's going to have to find ways to link itself with that global economy. And that's going to require some reforms internally here in Cuba. If you imagine what could be done with broader internet access and service here, Brian, I think, gives you a good example of the potential that could be unleashed. But it requires an infrastructure and an investment in order to make it work. But I also think Brian's a good example of the power of the internet and why having an internet infrastructure is so important. Because essentially, Airbnb is using social media and the internet in order to create a buyer and a seller and a market that is safe for those buyers and sellers that didn't previously exist.